group, you know, they were sort of at the forefront of a few new ingenuitive decks. But here we see some prize cards.
Just want to draw your attention as the one-off reversal energy for Piper that's currently in the prizes. Alexander 1, Dustnoir, Hilda, Bustles 2, Ultra Ball could come up here. But it looks like our players are set. Here is the fist bump, and it looks like it's Alexander kicking us off in our top 4B feature match here. Going to start the turn off there with that Buddy Poffin. And Joe, as Alexander concludes this search, why don't you talk to us about this Dragapult deck and what it does?
Well, we've seen it many times since its release, essentially. This combination got so much better with the release of Budu and with some rotation as well. But it allows this deck to have so much time to build towards multiple Stage 2 Pokemon. In that process, you're trying to buy time with Itchy Pollen. There's already Budu in the active position. So Alexander's game plan is already underway as Buddy Poffin will grab some of these basic Pokemon. And it's all about turning these Dreepy and Duskull into Drakloak, which can draw us a whole host of cards thanks to that Recon Directive, and that allows us to accumulate combinations. And with the flexibility of the damage output of Phantom Dive, combined with Curse Blast and Hawlucha, sometimes even Monkey Dory getting into the mix as well, you can really pick apart all sorts of board positions. That's why it's such a difficult customer to come up against.
And we saw in the previous top 4 game as well, you can come back. It's a combat deck. You know, you can take 4, 5, even 6 prize cards in turns with Dragapult.
Wow, look at this.
We have to keep our eyes on that. Whoa, the second Buddy Poffin. Oh, wow, that is Who Needs Precious Trolley, turn attachment as well. Now it is over to Piper. Let's see. Uh-oh, is that a turn attach? Oh, we had the Ino. Okay, I got a bit worried there, Joe. Okay, so as this Ino concludes, let's have a quick rundown of this End Zoroark archetype. It revolves around the End Zoroark, funnily enough. Got that trade ability, lets you discard 1 card from your hand to draw 2 more. It's Attack Knight Joker, lets you use the any one of your End's Pokemon's attacks as this attack. We featured the End's Reshiram there on the side there. It has 2 very useful attacks. Powerful Rage basically says, however much damage I have on my attacker, I do double back to you. So if I have 100 on me, I'm doing 200 to you. Also has Virtuous Flame for 170. Worth noting, Piper does play the Enstar Manatan as well. Flame Body Cannon, 90 damage into the active and 90 to the bench. And now, normally, if Reversal Energy was available, you can actually attack with that as well. But since that is currently in the prizes, would have to be utilized via Knight Joker.
But it's an option that you don't often see in the End Zoroark deck. So having this extra dimension will really change up the matchup. Whereas Alexander, in other situations, could sit back and wait until he's built up enough Curse Blasters to get through and essentially ignore the powerful Rage of the Reshiram, try and pile in a bunch of damage onto that End Zoroark. But if that's going to be the route for Alexander, Piper can be even more aggressive with the Darmanitan option. So you have to think that's going to be in her thinking as she progresses through this opening turn. One key tech inclusion, a recent new promotional card, the Damp Psyduck, stating that Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents, lose any ability that requires the Pokemon using it to knock itself out. And essentially that's saying, say no to Curse Blast in this situation.
And it's interesting. I wonder if Piper made the reset and you filled your bench. So that means you can't use Hawlucha right now. So a very common thing you can do is use Hawlucha Flying Entry, put 10 damage on it. Then you can use Phantom Dive, spread 6 more and KO it. However, that does require a bench slot. So that means for now, at the very least, Psyduck is kind of, you know, free to make the battlefield a bit damp.
Diffusing those ghost types is so important, as it really is one of the key weapons that Dragapult will employ, certainly in this matchup as well.
It looks like we did just see a turn attach and the pass, sorry, Joe. So it is over to Alexander, turn a turn off there with the Hilda. A fantastic supporter for the Dragapult EX archetype, because you do have to slow attach your way to your Phantom Dive. And Hilda says, well, I know you want to get Drakloak in play, and I know you want energy. So how about you just go and grab both of them at the same time? How's about that?
This really is a phenomenal sort of 1 or 2 of inclusion within these decks, because your A-Spec is often that Neo Upper Energy as well, being able to cherry pick this card that otherwise was difficult to search, and you would have to just rely on Recon Directives and Professor's Research and whatnot. The Hilda really smooths out this deck quite nicely, as you almost always have targets you're looking for.
We are going to see the evolution there into the Recon Directive. I think that was Dustnoir and something. Oh, another Drakloak. There we go. There's the Neo Upper Energy, and Jamming Tower, I believe, was there.
Yeah, but it's not enough to just get 1 Drakloak out. You need this not just for draw power, but also as your core attacker. So the more stage 1s, the merrier here. And I think there's also an Ultra Ball that Alexander's now considering to do just that.
Worth noting, it has prized 2 copies of Ultra Ball. So there's only going to be 1 copy left after this. Worth keeping an eye on that. You have to discard 2 cards from your hand, and you grab any Pokemon you like. Could be going for a Drakloak. Could be going for a Dusclops, perhaps. Nope, there it is, Dragler hitting the field.
Yeah.
Seeing an extra 6 cards a turn, it's almost like Golden Go.
Yeah, you get to pick just the 3 of them, but you see the ones you want.
Yeah.
And you can stash the ones you need for later at the bottom of the deck, and you have so many ways to recycle the deck anyway, shuffle it up, and then you still have a good chance to find it with Recon Directive later in the game. As here is that final ability. All things considered, a really good turn 1 from Aleksander and a really good turn 2 here, Shay. What more can you ask for?
And he's going to end the turn with the Itchy Pawn as well. Going to replace the Stadium.
Ooh, hold on.
Dragon Headbutt for 70. Applying some early pressure. Going to remove the turn attachment and take the KO. We don't see this too often, but Aleksander has taken his first prize card here in our top 4 feature match. And I have to admit, that's not something you're prepared for, the early Dragon Headbutt. But when you're neutralizing the energy, basically you said, I don't think you can attack next turn, so how about I apply that pressure now?
Yeah, it's rare that option's available, but Aleksander possibly saying that as soon as there are too many Zoroark in play, Piper will just start running away with the game with trade, because both players want to have just so much access to their deck via their stage 1 abilities. In this case, the end Zoroark is also the core attacker with that Night Joker, and that's already been found via this Hilda from Piper. So we are going to start to trade away some pieces. Going to get rid of the Petulant EX in this case. Does pick up another Zorua. You see the turn attachment, just the pass over.
Attachment. Not the greatest of turn 2s. And here we're going to start to see, I think, the Achilles heel of the end Zoroark archetype is that you're kind of... The output, if you're not using Powerful Rage, can be a little bit low. You're stuck doing 170, only if you haven't got Ensdar and Macadam, you can't access Flame Body Cannon. It's over to Aleksander. They're going to start off there with a Recon Directive. First use here is the second use here as well.
So there's this strange situation now that this end Zoroark EX doesn't look that threatening, but Aleksander almost definitely has to go around this Pokemon.
Yeah.
Attacking into this Pokemon is dangerous because it opens up the powerful Rage attack that could be copied from an Ends Reshiram. The way Aleksander's going, he's going so aggressively that he may still, because he has so many attachments banked, he might still just attack in here and really just hunt down the Zoroark as quickly as possible. This has really opened up from a surprising opener.
Yeah, it's very rare, folks, that you see the Dragapult EX deck who apply this early game pressure. But as you say, because you're ahead on energy attachment, sure, you put 200 damage here, you spread another 6. Let's say you get Powerful Rage back. If Piper doesn't immediately reload a strong board state, you're then second. Phantom Dive really is, well, very painful and can remove a lot of Pokemon at the same time. So
a few things
debating it here
to consider. Yeah, there is the boss's orders in hand, so you could try and remove Zorua, remove some draw power. Ooh. Even putting some damage counters into Psyduck could be useful. But no, I think we're going for it. Shay.
Jet Headbutt or Phantom Dive? And you could Jet Headbutt, probably not actually.
Not yet there.
Oh no, sorry. There's the boss swords into the Psyduck.
Yeah, just take out this threat when there's still limited draw from Piper. She's only holding on to 4 cards right now. Only has 1 draw from trade. So try and set this Zorua up. And again, avoid attacking into these End Zoroark. Try and set them up instead. And Piper immediately evolves up into her second End Zoroark and now can get a fresh hand with INO, which means she has far less of a powerful turn ahead of her, although she has drawn some good cards.
Yeah, you get the secret box. Trade number 2. Can I discard the Yveltal? There's the Serrano. Counter Catcher obviously is live.
That's a big piece as well. You never really want to punch into these Stage 2 Pokemon when you know that you can threaten one-hit KOs via the Reshiram. So I think the Counter Catcher is likely a play she would like to use here. Secret Box might just be re-establishing good old Psyduck with Night Stretcher if she doesn't have access to it just yet. Yeah, that might be the Super. Is that the Super Rod in the hand?
The Super Rod is in hand. Yeah, it was a Neo one, I believe.
So it could be Super Rod, then Buddy Buddy popping back the Psyduck to re-establish it. Let's see what her choices are here. Gets rid of Air Balloon, Turo, and another Buddy Buddy Poffin. And she now has access to a supporter card, a tool, an item, as well as a stadium card. She's opting for a couple of the Artisan, in addition to 1 Tech Team Rocket's Watchtower, which she's picking out now.
Team Rocket's Watchtower, we mentioned in our Day 1 interview, can be very helpful. You know, can deny Noctowers, of course, but obviously in this matchup can deny the season's skill ability on the Blood Moon Ursaluna. And that has been shown now. So Aleksander is aware that that is something I have to try and keep an eye on.
Yeah. Additional Zorua coming into the mix now. Here comes Nest Ball for Reshiram. And now we finally have something we can Night Joker effectively. Didn't really want to copy a scratch from the Zorua.
No, that wouldn't be very good, would it? Doing it the long-winded way as well, if you're having to copy it with Night Joker. Virtuous Flame, 170 damage. But as I was saying, if you're not using Powerful Rage or Flame Body Cannon, I feel as if the 170 is just a little bit lackluster, I feel. Yeah. Oh, but there's the boss's orders, though. Going to go after the Drakloak. Oh, no, not boss's orders. Counter Catcher. I apologise.
Catcher, yeah.
I apologise.
Like I said, you don't want to touch these stage 2s when you know that as long as your Enzoroark is punched, you can just cleanly knock them out. So let's remove some draw engine pieces, try and stay in touching distance of equalising the prize race. But this is a big turn, Shay, because there is no Psyduck in sight. So there is a potential here for Aleksander to get really creative with Curse Blast. Could be picking off some Enzoroark cleanly here. Has one draw from this Recon Directive as well first. A couple supporters to pick from.
I think it was a Lily and a Counter Catcher.
Oh, it was a Counter Catcher, okay.
Yeah. Obviously isn't live for Aleksander now.
Definitely the Lily could be interesting. That is the take.
Card for Mega Evolution. Backbone. Engine of the format, I imagine, for a long time. There is the Night Stretcher.
Just maintaining these attachments.
Energy.
I think we are going to see a fresh hand here. Aleksander with a strange turn, because there's a lot of possibilities from these big 8 cards. If we see enough Dusclops, we could be getting really creative attacking into this active.
Or Dusclops plus Night Stretcher combination as well.
Yeah, failing that, we could just be Jet headbutting or using Itchy Pollen for a turn and going into a defensive stance while we try and build up some of these stage 1 Pokemon.
Yeah, this could be a very big impactful turn here, folks. Let's see from the Lily what we're going to see. I think one of them was a Blood Moon or Saluna.
Both
one
players,
Dusclops.
Yeah, does find the Dusclops. Just one of them's not enough.
Where's that? Oh, no, it's Monkey Dory and Dusclops is the iron up there. Okay.
Yeah, no use for Monkey Dory just yet.
Well, there is an Ultra Ball, though.
Yeah, one of the Dusclops is in the prize cards. That's the only thing holding us back from that approach. Looking to discard one of these Dragapult and the Monkey Dory in this instance with the Ultra Ball.
I don't
Could just be, again, rebuilding Dreepy. Could also look for Hawlucha just to take out this Enzarua. Again, just limit the amount of draw as much as possible.
Yeah, you want to try and stop the, trades for 6 cards a turn, or maybe even 8 under ideal circumstances. Want to try and remove that. Could be eyeing up the Pheasantipity, of course. Not a bad card by any means. Drawing 3 cards, never a bad thing.
Also tempting, and that is going to be the choice for Aleksander here. Curse Blast essentially changes this turn quite substantially. Currently, Aleksander's ahead on prize cards, but even if you donate 1 to Piper, you're still not able to use your Counter Catcher just yet. So it would have to be a Night Stretcher as well if you wanted to go around this current active. But again, if then you're using double Curse Blast, it could just be into the active itself. Failing that, even, like I said, some of the lower damage output plays would be the alternate route here. Still not evolving up into any of those Dusclops, though. Here we go. Finally, one evolution. We have already committed our retreat.
So what, we're going for Jet Head? Oh, no. We're going for the Phantom Dive.
Out enough damage here. We're putting so much onto multiple Zoroark.
I don't mind it.
Just trying to threaten them all at once.
Okay, it is over to Piper. So that Powerful Rage is going to be live now. I'll do a lot of damage back, so this Dragapult EX is not long left for this game. We'll be getting sent to the discard park, I can tell you that for free. Here comes a Super Rod. And here's the thing about Psyduck. You can't just get it out, willy-nilly, because it can just get KO'd, right? You gotta try and get it out on the turn where your opponent really wants to use Curse Blast. So hopefully Piper's going to try and establish it here, get it back in play, turn off any Cursed Blast shenanigans.
And no doubt one of her priorities will be trying to establish the Psyduck here. That's why it's being shuffled back immediately before any trades and before any use of supporter, because trying to access that card will be huge.
I'll try and get some energy develops as well, I believe, as well. Yeah. Be nice. Got to trade away Pheasantipity. Energy. We'll take that.
Energy. Yeah, that is handy. If we can evolve up into the 3rd Zoroark, that's always useful. There's the Binding Mochi coming into the mix, in addition to the Team Rocket's Watchtower. And here comes the Ino then.
Okay.
Just 4 cards for Aleksander, 5 for Piper. Still has access to one of those trade. And I think that was the Psyduck. Yeah, the Psyduck has been found now, so that's a big piece of the puzzle. Counter Catcher live as well, but I think you have to take advantage of Powerful Rage while you can. The Buddy Buddy Poffin is just going to be spent here to shuffle. Might give her access to some of those supporters that she just Iono to the bottom. And it feels like the play is pretty well lined up for her. Piper will be taking 2 prize cards this turn through the active, leaving Aleksander with just the 1 Drakloak as a likely attacker for future turns. Here comes the Psyduck.
So it has been and the Monkey Dory. With the Monkey Dory. And there is the big bad, powerful rage. Piper Lepine, one hit KOing that Dragapult. EX is over to Alexander. Did get hit with the INO. Does have one use of Recon Directive and one use of Flip the Script. However, to try and reload that hand. There is the Flip the Script 1, 2, and 3. Didn't quite see what they were.
I think a Luminous Energy, that is a useful piece.
Neo Upper.
Hawlucha intriguing as well. This could be a turn where you could fling Hawlucha down, fly in on that side up, finish off the active whilst doing so. Then you put yourself down to just one prize card, and then you would have access to your Curse Blast, provided Piper couldn't sculpt a 2-prize knockout.
Here comes that Recon Directive. Night Stretcher. Yeah,
and the Lilies.
We'll take that.
Combination. It was the Night Stretcher selected. So that is our means of getting Dragapult EX online. We have the energy established as well. Counter Catcher currently open for Alexander as well if he wants to, again, get creative with where he takes this KO. But it feels like he has to go through the active with a threat of powerful rage.
Yeah, you can't be letting that carry on.
Unless you're really just saying that you can still win the race by taking 2. It doesn't matter if Piper can take 2 back, and you can just keep this damage around for possible Blood Moon Ursaluna later. That would be the only other thing that I'm considering here.
Here's the flying entry. When you put Hawlucha into play, put 10 damage on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, bringing those 70 hit point Pokemon down into range of that Phantom Dive. So Psyduck, oh, you see the Neo Upper Energy attached as well.
Keeps the Luminous around for Monkey Dory that is in his list. So it definitely makes the most sense to sacrifice your A-Spec now.
Going to spend
double counter-catchering just to spend them out of the hand. How often do you see that?
Yep, so viewers, I think what he was doing there was just saying, I want to counter-catch anything, that's fine, but then I want to counter-catch back that ends Reshiram that is now in the active, bringing it back in essentially. Just getting them out of the hand so you don't see them again.
And that tells me that Alexander is going to 1 prize. Yeah, because he will never use those counter-catchers again.
He's basically saying, we're racing now. Yeah. Piper, can you keep up? That's what he's essentially saying.
And this is one of the issues with the Zoroark. I mean, with so much damage around, there is still a powerful rage that can reach onto a Pheasantipity EX on the bench. That would be the only Pokemon that Piper could pick off that would then deny Curse Blast for Alexander on the next turn. But then you'd be attacking with a heavily damaged Zoroark in the active position. That doesn't feel like the best solution.
No.
That would fall right into the trap of Blood Moon Ursaluna. As here we are, we're going to retreat into the Phantom Dive.
Alexander is going to retreat and use Phantom Dive. And that is going to pick up the KO on the active and the Psyduck. 3 prize turn, 1 prize card left for Alexander. Piper does promote the Monkey Dory. What can she do? Turn attach.
Darkness Energy and the Counter Catcher. That means Monkey Dory can get the Budew. That's 1 prize. And with the Binding Mochi, can we get towards Pecharunt EX and maybe Energy Switch or Ends PP up for the End Zoroark here?
Oh, that would be interesting. There's the Adrenaline Brain mid-turn KO. Going down to 2. There's the Energy Switch. Onto End Zoroark.
Pecharunt EX. Bringing the End Zoroark into the active thanks to the earlier Binding Mochi. That's the knockout. A 3-prize win from Piper.
What a turn! Pecharunt EX going to poison the End Zoroark. Binding Mochi activates. Virtuous Flame, enough for the KO. What a turn for Piper. Alexander was asking questions all game as early as turn 1 with Dragon Headbutt, and Piper was able to answer them all, who now secures herself game 1 here in the top 4 feature match here over at Lille. Here we go, Joe. Let's have a look at how it all panned out.
Really clean play from both players, honestly. Alexander getting into the mix really early with triple Drakloak. That's all you can ask for. And he even got aggressive with the early headbutt from the Drakloak, really denying the amount of End Zoroark that Piper had access to. She still was able to construct a decent enough board and crucially found this counter catcher to avoid poking into this Dragapult EX. It gave her that single prize, and she knew. She stashed that Budew, went around it when she had to, and just said that I can deal with that later for an easy knockout thanks to Monkey Dory. Really smart play.
It really was, and you know, getting out that Psyduck on the turn, I'm sure it wasn't a massive influence, but it did mean Alexander did have to deal with it. Can't just let it knock around. But here was the big turn, the counter catcher, the Binding Mochi activation from the from the ability, I should say, subjugating chains from the Pecharunt, plus 40 damage, Virtuous Flame, and that is enough for a crisp, clean KO on Pheasantipity. Perfect match. You love to see it. And Piper is 1 game up. However, I don't get too ahead of ourselves. That was a great game from Piper, but Alexander played that really really well, you know, applied the pressure, and I have to wonder if you was to, you know, put in a simulator that game, how many times Piper navigates out of it. Let's consult the prize cards. Serendipity, two times Monkey Dory for Piper, and the Blood Moon Ursaluna for Alexander. But yeah, as I was saying, Alexander made a really terrific plays there, and I think he has it in the wheelhouse to do the reverse sweep and win too. I can't wait to see how this pans out, Joe.
Yeah, he more or less asked a big question with just one end Zoroark in play. Yep. Essentially forcing Piper to have that big combination of the Darkness Energy plus Energy Switch plus a way to get Petulant back into the equation, as well as a Gust effect as well. So he asked for a big combo, a 4 or 5 card combo required there from not much draw. So he was still right in that equation and essentially just accepted his fate if there was that combo to come together. As we're getting into this game number 2, it seems to be a very similar start here with the Budu lead for Alexander and has the Buddy Poffin. So again, has to be feeling pretty good about this opening turn as he tries to get some of these basic Pokemon established. I do like you highlighting the double Monkey Dory in Piper's prizes, as we just saw. That's a great way to punish the Budu start, actually, for Alexander. And Piper waited for the right moment to activate that.
Yeah, the Monkey Dory only got one use of it in that entire game, and it was a game-winning one, to be honest with you. So not having access to it, it's the double Buddy Poffin start, actually. So, yeah, basically, this is a rinse and repeat of game 1 for Alexander.
It's all you can ask for, really.
Yeah. He's going for 3rd Dreepy this time, though. I guess when you've prized, well, only prized 1 Dust Noir.
There's also a Dust Cull in the hand, so we could go full bench here. Sense. But no, we are going to pass the action over, as that was his first turn of the game.
Okay, what has Piper got here?
Oh, she has not a lot to work with. Enzoroark, Petulant,
Scratch?
Cyrano. No, is it even Cyrano in the hand?
I think it is a Cyrano, but...
Just the Scratch instead here for 20.
Well, you'd love for that to be a 1 for 30, wouldn't you? That would have been helpful.
Well, even now, it means that Monkey Dory gets even more creative.
It does. It does.
It means any damage counter thrown around by Alexander can be used for later.
So not the hottest of starts there for Piper by any means.
Was it just a pass? No,
I think it
not
must
giving
have
Alexander.
Yeah, not giving the Monkey Dory, perhaps.
Yeah, both players using Monkey Dory, so not wanting any damage counters around.
Boss's order's going to swap that around.
Both players on fumes.
Oh, wait,
here?
are we going to do a Itchy Pollen? That is 20 for the weakness. Okay, there's the Cyrano. So we are going to get 2 Enzoroark online and search for the 3rd Okie Dokie. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to see this or not. But
sounds like great trade fodder, shit.
I was about to say it's a really big attacker, but you are right. I don't think we see it in this matchup. So I think it's going to... okay, he's excited to hit the hand, but it's going to get sent straight to the discard pile.
Yeah.
Not the matchup for you, my friend. But
that's one of the
biggest
strengths of playing this archetype, though. You get to have just enough toolboxy Pokemon that you know you can throw away easily without any consideration.
Oh, Psyduck. Energy Switch.
Energy Switch.
Oh, did we join to basic energy? Oh, I don't think we did.
I don't think I see it, no.
Oh, no.
But still, just this Psyduck alone already makes you breathe a big sigh of relief. That 2 damage on the active can add up alongside a Curse Blast from even a Dusclops that can put you in range of stuff, so...
Where's Alexander got? Oh, Professor Jora, but oh yeah, it's just going to be the Itchy Pollen back over to Piper. Secret box, can't play that though. Not under Itchy Pollen. What is this? What is this? Show me.
What is this?
I need to see. I'm so excited. Hilda.
That can give us access to more energy and more evolution Pokemon. Piper trying to press that advantage is able to grab the Darmanitan now. Not something we saw used in that first game, but still can come up if you find it in a timely fashion. That Flame Body Cannon can still be relevant.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can somehow develop the if you can develop Darmanitan with 2 energy on your active, you can start to go to town with Flame Body Cannon, Ryan, get sort of access those bench Pokemon before they evolve. I'm not sure if we have a nope, they're going to get sent straight to the discard pile. Buddy Poffin, we'd love to use that.
Yeah.
Energy, we did get energy though. Have we out the active? Churro? Did we see Churro? Oh no, we played.
I think because of the Hilda's already been used.
Oh, Hilda has been
just setting up.
My bad, my bad.
Yeah, passing action back over to Alexander now, who is still...
I know off the top.
Well, that's keeping him in this game. A game down in our top 4. Found himself on a really slow hand, but Itchy Pollen has kept him in the mix here without having to submit too many prize cards. And finally he has 6 cards.
Yeah. We need to see some basic energy. We'd love to see some Dracloak. I see...
Oh, I didn't see...
Ultra Ball. No, there's no easy Dracloak there. 2 times Ultra Ball. And that can be... Still no energy as well, might I say.
It's a relief, though, because as soon as you get 1 Recon Directive, typically more follow.
Yeah,
you get to see more cards, even if this is fodder for the 2nd Ultra Ball in this hand, Shay. So Alexander just about hanging on right now. Slowly ticking up damage with Itchy Pollen shouldn't be ignored either.
No, that definitely adds up.
Especially when you can't use your Curse Blast. You have to do it the old-fashioned way, just prodding in.
So here is the first Dracloak hitting the field. Recon Directive. Energy, Dragapult. Yeah, it's going to have to take that energy. When I start attaching that at some point.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
It really is.
And with Itchy Pollen... Yep, here we go. The Safeguard is all you can go for here. Trying to make it more difficult to move this Zoroark whilst also using a gusting effect.
Trade away, Cleffa. Trade away, buddy.
Trademark, just rifling through the decisions as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that
already knows what she wants to do. That's part of the reason why she's such an effective player. She's already thought about the turn and basically every eventuality because she is just so on it with her choices every turn.
Yeah, she does.
Not wasting any time.
Plays at a fantastic speed. Love to see it. Makes it very exciting as well. I'll be honest.
Professor Turo's scenario is in the hand.
Okay.
That could be our means of getting into the action.
Artisan. That was going to find that ends Reshiram, so that means Virtuous Flame is online. 170 damage, more than enough to KO Badu, I can tell you that.
Yeah, there would have been situations, if she'd had access to Monkey Dory, you got to feel like she would have loved to weave that in.
Yeah, true.
Could have allowed her to get a 2-prize turn, but here she can establish more energy onto Zorua, will Turo up her active, re-bench the end Zorua, and then just copy the the Virtuous Flame for an easy KO on Budu here.
Yep, so Piper's going to take her first prize card here. 5 prize cards away from finding herself in her very first European regional final. She said herself in the interview she hadn't had a great European finish at a regional, but she wants to try and take all home. It is over to Alexander, going to promote that Dracloak. We have Ultra Ball. We haven't got energy, actually, so we can't fire off the Phantom Dive yet. But then this is a scary thing. You don't want to hit into that active because that damage is coming flying straight back at you at an incredible speed.
Yeah, it's still terrifying ever to hit into an end Zoroark EX. We are going to quickly see the Artisan first, getting that additional Dreepy before an INO. You feel like that's going to be the first action from Alexander.
Yep.
Try and reduce Piper's hand size. She's had a few turns of multiple trade now. So let's get rid of those riches, put them to the bottom, in fact. Because that's one of the core strengths of trade. Not only are you sort of maintaining the hand size and keeping it large, you're also throwing away the weaker cards as you go.
So that means those late games INO hopefully don't hurt you as much. Which is a difference between the Recon Directives. We do see that going to grab the basic energy, I believe. Recon Directive still keeps those cards. So if your deck gets shuffled for whatever reason and you get INO'd, you might draw into those cards you don't really want to see. Trade, just straight discards them.
The Ultra Ball choice is not an easy one for Alexander, but he knows he has to make this choice before the INO. Unless you just want to...
Unless you play the hilt. Oh, no, okay.
It is going to be the hill to discard. I feel like with the hand starting to amass, you just know that there's so many good things rooting around in that hand. It's going to be an additional Dracloak before anything else. I think after the shuffle, it's likely that we'll see the INO launched here.
Pretty important INO. This could be a very important INO here.
She has so many objectives. Oh, sorry, Alexander has so many objectives to deal with Piper's board. Having to move this active out the way, find an energy attachment, find a Dragapult. And we're only seeing 6 cards from this INO.
Energy as well.
Yeah, energy on top of that.
Now, we do have the 2 from Recon Directive, the second one, so we could see another 2. Okay, Dragapult EX. I saw that. I didn't see energy, though.
Another Ultra Ball in there. We have possibly a couple of Recon Directive.
True. That Ultra Ball looks like...
reset the deck, which is why we're seeing the Recon Directive first. That's
Luminous energy. Great find.
It's alongside the Dracloak. So I think that's one of the bigger pieces. But again, you're in this real headache situation of, do I really have to punch into this end Zoroark? Maybe evolve into the active and still just Jet Headbutt this turn?
Jet Headbutt, yeah. Don't mind that. Then you could attach your energy, spread your energy out in case of any shenanigans.
Ooh, Horlucha's coming, though, which means we will still be launching Phantom Dive this turn, Shay. You feel like it only comes in combination
100% with
the Phantom Dive.
That flying entry, 10 damage on Psyduck, 10 damage on pick your end Zoro up with a one with energy.
And I think you still have to take the Psyduck first.
Oh, 100%, yeah. We can't be letting that damp affect this battlefield anymore. Here's Luminous. So that's going to, well, if we're going for, it's going to have to be active then, surely, if we're going to go for, there it is, Luminous.
Committed. Will it be the flying entry now? Or again, there's still the tiny % of going for Jet Headbutt here.
I don't mind that.
Like, by hitting into this Zoroark, you're accelerating the game so much, and your board's still not that effective. That's what feels troublesome for me.
There's the flying entry. We're not...
Yeah, we're
just going to see 200
here.
Into the active. KO the Psyduck. Okay, Aleksander is on the board. That does open up Curse Blast. That could be quite tough. The Powerful Rage is very much online. There is no other energy develops. We are relying on Neo Upper now. But it is over to Piper now, though, Joe. What's our most ideal turn here?
Well, this is the beauty of Enzoroc. When you know you've got a damaged Pokemon in the active, you already know that your active 2-prize KO is set up for you.
Yeah.
You don't have a headache in that regard at all. So it's about trying to re-establish that Psyduck. It's also about trying to get additional Zoroark. We're going to see the Pal Pad before anything else here, grabbing the Cyrano and the Professor Turo scenario. Could be a useful card for later. We know that picking up that damage can be really handy. So I think at this point it's Piper, again, just building these Zorua up into Zoroark, step 1. And here comes the first trade.
But Counter Catcher and something.
Ends
PP up. Great card lane. You get extra energy in play.
Not much actually going on in this hand by the looks of things.
Yeah, we've got no other trades available, have we?
Well, it's Petulant in the hand. No,
Oh, so it's just
Powerful Rage.
Night Joker, Powerful Rage. I mean, let's not make no mistake about it. That's a big turn, but not a lot else was done. If Aleksander can KO that active end Zoroark, Piper has a lot of questions to answer next turn.
Oh, my
Can
goodness.
he do it?
It could have looked really bleak for Aleksander had Piper had a more reasonable hand here.
Yeah.
But now, as long as we find our A-Spec, Neo Upper Energy, Aleksander could be really racing ahead here.
Yeah, this could...
Taking a 3-prize knockout, leaving Piper with just a Zorua and a Reshiram, having not much of a response by the looks of things. Aleksander, if he can piece the right combination together, he's still going to be in a really good position that he perhaps didn't expect to be in.
Feels like a difficult decision. We're going to go for Recon Directive now. We are. Do we see that A-Spec? No. Boss's orders.
A big pickup, though.
Nest Ball. That's going to find Pheasantipity.
Know it.
An extra 3 cards. So, folks at home, Aleksander needs to evolve his active. Has a Night Stretcher to do that, I would imagine. And then try and find that Neo Upper Energy so you can catapult yourself into Phantom Dive. And make no mistake about it, if Aleksander ends his turn announcing Phantom Dive, I think this is his game to lose at that point.
It really has turned into a game of hide and seek with the A-Spec. Here comes the...
Here we go. 3 cards. Are we going to see the A-Spec all the way to grab it? No.
That's the Dragapult, and it means now you can Night Stretcher for an additional Dracloak.
That is true.
More draw. There's a temptation to use Iono, and there's a temptation to use Lily's Determination. Those mathematicians out there already doing the calculus of what's the better choice here. I know that's been a hot debate ever since Lily's Determination came out.
Bet he wished he held on to that Hilda earlier. That
well,
Hilda
possibly.
would have been great now. But here comes a Night Stretcher. This has to find a Dracloak, as you do say. Another 2 cards. 1, 2.
Another Dracloak.
Another Dracloak. Here we go. Another ticket at the table.
Let's see, that pink card.
No.
Scenario and Night Stretcher, neither that useful. That means it's down to our supporter to try and find a couple pieces.
Ino would be for 5. Obviously, Lily would be for 6. But as you say, cards at the bottom. The mathematicians work out what's optimal.
I mean, failing the Neo Upper Energy, you can still find a Dusclops, and a Headbutt could still get you through at least the active.
That is true.
It just feels so much worse. If you can pounce a 3-prize turn here, leaving no damage on the board for Piper to play with or Powerful Rage with.
Looks like this Ultra Ball, I imagine we find a Dusclops, you can just evolve into it, have it ready.
Also means if you want to make this Iono even stronger, if you're feeling really greedy, if you think you're the one, you can go for the Zorua that has an energy attached. Then if you find that Neo Upper Energy, you can take out all of the energy at once. That's really gaming, though.
Wow.
I feel like this has to be a full back play in case you miss.
You know, when my eyebrows get raised, that is risky play, but it's an option. It is an option.
Big shuffle then from Aleksander before his use of Iono. Will be evolving up into this Dusclops, you imagine, as there's no rare candy in his list, so that's not an option that he has to consider. Just taking a final look through before this decision. Is there anything we can use this Night Stretcher for? Does it have to be Night Stretcher for Dragapult here first? Oh, there's one in the hand.
One in the hand,
not an issue.
So it looks like...
Because, again, you're only seeing 5 cards. You don't play that many energy in Dragapult.
No.
There's a big risk. Yeah, so into the active means we're taking the safe knockout with Jet Headbutts, I think.
And that's going to open up Artisan.
Yeah.
Grab the Duskull. That's going to shuffle the deck as well, worth noting.
Well, it means now you're almost definitely not going for Phantom Dive. You probably still commit your Psych Energy in the active now.
So now the Night Stretcher can grab an energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. We're not gambling for the Neo Upper. We're taking the safe route. And thanks to the early Curse Blast, you're now giving Piper one less card to deal with, as she only has 2 prize cards remaining now.
Trying to think. If you're Piper, Irritated Outburst, what was that? 60, 120, 180, 240.
Yeah, you get to 240 with Irritated Outburst.
I mean, there is a world ends PP up, attach energy switch, boss's orders. It's possible, but there is the Jet Headbutt for the KO. Is over to Piper. 3 cards to start the turn. What are they? A Yveltal.
And an Ino.
And an Ino, okay.
That's 2 cards for Piper, 3 for Aleksander.
Watchtower and a Darumaka. I can tell you what those were.
That's awful. That is really awful. We're going to retreat out of this Enzarua. Or are we going to sit in the active? Yeah, we've got to protect it. Going into Yveltal, perhaps, as a free retreat Pokemon.
Yeah.
Darumaka down, and just the pass.
Alexander has 2 Recon Directed Tears and Neo Upper Energy, funnily enough. I mean, that means we could use Phantom Dive this turn.
Yeah. And Piper just has to sit and wait and watch it unfold in front of her.
The ball is in Alexander's court. Boss's orders ×2. Uh-oh, we could remove both these Zorua, Joe.
Yeah, that's looking like a big turn for Alexander here. Doesn't look like we can win this turn with no rare candy. You can only get 1 Dusclops. Your Phantom Dive would have to be all 6 already onto the Enzarua on the bench. So I think the boss's orders would be the strongest turn. Take out both Enzarua at once and know that you can just cruise to victory on the following turn.
Yeah, we don't need to win exactly this turn. We even have a Luminous Energy. I didn't even see that one. So we even have to commit Neo Upper. Yeah, this is wow. I did say this is probably Alexander's game to lose here. Marching closer to victory. Counter catches even still live. Right here, do we even need to play the boss?
Both players just had a really strange back and forth this game, where it felt like the pendulum has swung a couple times over, where there's just been large hand sizes, but nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Now we found ourselves in this spot.
And these are the games that, you know, good players and great players and average players all attempt differently. They're very easy to pile your deck when everything's going 100% correct. However, when you miss stuff here, your opponent misses stuff there, or they go off to an early lead, you have to adapt, you have to react and play differently. And that's exactly what this game 2 has been. No one's been off to the races by any means. But it looks like Alexander, there is the counter catcher bringing up the Zorua. Without damage on, obviously, because Phantom Dive 200 damage into the active. 6 damage counters on the bench. 1 prize card left. Alexander and Piper Lepine is gonna concede. 1-1 here in our top 4B feature match here at Lille. That means, folks, we're essentially going down to a best of 1. The winner will advance to the finals to have the chance to try and compete for the title of Lille Regional Champion, $10,000 US, and an auto invitation to Worlds later on in the season. Let's see how this panned out here, Joe, this game 2.
Ultimately, Alexander had a terrible opener. He was just sat with 1 Dracloak for so many turns and just had to sit behind Itchy Pollen for as long as possible. Piper was slowly able to find this Professor Turret scenario, getting her Enzorowak into the equation. But it was some careful placement with that flying entry, allowing Alexander to get rid of a Psyduck here, and bravely chose to punch into an Enzorowak. It felt like he was basically backed into a corner into this play. And it looked like from Piper's board, from that position, she could just evolve up into a couple more Zoroark and suddenly she's like closing out on the game and there's not much Alexander could do. But after missing that, then Alexander is able to piece together a really nice play, not having to find the Neo Up energy, instead taking a safer line with Curse Blast plus Jet Headbutts to take a slower approach and just say that Piper is sat on a very weak hand. All she could find was her own INO, and at that point in the game, she'd already taken a lot of prize cards, so it really wasn't working with much.
Yeah, and that's it. As you say, what an awkward game that was for both players. The pendulum of power was just swinging left, right, and it ended up on Alexander.
No!
Oh, the Psyduck is prized!
Not the duck.
No, that's not what you want. But it looks like Piper starts off turn attachment. Oh no, attached pass. There's no Enzura. There's no playables. Alexander has led the Budu again. And that's what you want. If your opponent has a slow start, you want to announce Itchy Pollen with the most haste. And just really put the clamps on your opponent. If Alexander can just develop GP energy, this is looking very dicey.
The one tech card that you play for this matchup above all else. Coming into crunch time, Piper has been absolutely...
Supporters and Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, she's been done by these prize cards before. Remember at the World Championships, she was so unfortunate with her...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At crunch time, and it seems in this Game 3 situation, once again, being hindered by a prize card. Now, let's be fair, there's still plenty more game to go.
Oh, for sure.
But that is one of the ways you can really neutralize the board from Aleksander, and now he'll have free reign of these Curse Blasts. And he's been so cute with how he's used them throughout the set already.
Yep, been very articulate with them, only used them precisely when he needed to. But now we'll have free reign to get a bit more liberal, you could say, with the use of Curse Blast. Buddy Poffin is being played here. Like a little prize card search. I mean, he isn't to know that Psyduck's prized, but yeah, still have to approach the game, you know.
And we've seen he's been very proactive at dealing with that Psyduck as well.
Sure.
He's made sure that he's always timed his Hawlucha alongside Phantom Dive, made the most out of it, dealt with that Psyduck as quickly as possible, and then giving himself that window of opportunity to use the Curse Blasters.
The way has he got another Buddy Poffin? Oh, no, he's got a Nest Ball. Okay.
Is there a supporter to come after this, though? There's always that question of, do I ever Iono my opponent?
I was literally just thinking that. Yeah.
It's not always the case, especially now with Lily's Determination being another great early game supporter card. But already onto a great start. Led the Budu and already has 3 of his key evolving basics into play. No supporter for him, though, so just the 10 prod.
Or turn attachment. There is the Iono from Piper. Okay. We can all breathe a sigh of relief for Piper here. Has got the Iono. Has been hit by the itchy pollen, though, so Buddy Poffin can't do that just to flood your board. Both players put their hands to the bottom of their deck, and they will draw 1 card each for each prize card. They have remaining. Both players have 6. A hand refresh of 6 for both players. Piper hasn't even looked at her card yet. Waiting. Doesn't want to give any information away.
Well, we know she can make decisions in quick time. So.
That is true. And there's a Buddy Poffin can't use it. Oh, there's no Zorua, Joe!
No Zorua, no Artisan. Those are her only outs.
Oh, no.
It's just Monkey Dory against the world.
I mean, you can Adrenabrain, I guess.
Yeah. Fling it over to the Budu and just the pass by the looks of things. Itchy Pollen is locking this game down and giving so much time to Aleksander.
That's the thing. If you have a slow start and your opponent announces Itchy Pollen, it just feels rude, doesn't it? There is the Buddy Poffin there from Aleksander. Wow. The Skull Dreepy.
The game could end here with Neo Upper Energy. If that's found alongside Dracloak and then we find a Dusclops, we could win the game this time.
The Dragon Headbutt again. Yeah. The return from game 1.
It's
going to get 8. I mean, it's very possible. Wait, Neo Upper's just stage 2, right?
Okay.
Right, I got ahead of myself. Yeah. I mean, I would love for the Jet Headbutt to come up again.
Either way.
Wowzers.
These 8 cards, as long as we start seeing Dracloak, Aleksander has to be so happy with himself.
Yeah, Dracloak and Energy, that's all we're looking for here. 8 cards. Let's have a look. Ooh, Ultra Ball maybe?
A lot of the stage 2s.
No Energy either. There's an Ultra Ball.
Does have an Ultra Ball, so again, we can begin the chain of these Recon Directive. And again, amass the hand size. Gain as much time as possible with this Budu. You do have to worry that you are putting damage into the Pokemon and then it's being flung straight back at you.
Yeah.
So when that... it's basically a debate whether or not you do the 3rd Itchy Pollen. There's no debate this turn. You're always going to end the turn on it. But that really sets you up nicely. And if you can lock down Piper for 1 more turn, Phantom Dive is knocking on the door.
It really is. And you have to answer it at some point. Counter catch a Toro.
Very poor cards to see. Really not too handy. Going to keep the counter catcher. You can make that live yourself with the use of your Curse Blast.
And it's just going to be the Itchy Pollen. Okay, Piper, come on. Let's get some Enzurua down, please. Ino again. We're riding the Ino train.
That's 2 of her 3 copies gone as well in a matchup that can really swing back and forth with Hand Disruption.
Oh, no, Joe, there's no... one Pokemon. No Zorua. And it's just a pass. We're not even going to use Adrenabrain, I think, by the looks of it. A new hand for Aleksander. Okay, now Neo Upper Energy would be live with an evolution. Don't quite see it yet.
Now the game definitely could end. It would need multiple Curse Blast, I believe, from Dusclops, and still need the Neo Up Energy with the lack of attachment last turn. But
Hilda.
Ooh, Hilda.
Hilda's scary. We're going to take the Hilda. Grab an evolution Pokemon and an energy. All Curse.
Already one Dusclops
One Dusclops is in hand. There's an Ultra Ball as well, I believe.
I think it's all coming together.
Uh-oh. There's 2 Dusclops. One is not in the prizes, so I think we could be staring down the game here. Ultra Ball can grab the
There it
Dust
is.
Clops. One's in hand. Curse Blast usage ×2. That's 100 damage to play with. Hilda will then find the Dragapult EX and the Neo Upper Energy. That's going to put damage into the active Counter Catcher as well. And that is the game. Aleksander has booked himself a ticket to the final here in the Lille Regional Championships.
Huge congratulations to Aleksander, who is chuffed with himself. Didn't want it to go down like that, but let's be fair, he put on a show in all 3 of those games.